1, click, click, click. 2, click, click, click. Intro, click. 2, click. 3, click. 4, click. Welcome back to Saturday Night Integration here at Rock Harbor Church. I present to you what I believe is the cleanest tracks playback setup for churches. Let's jump on in. So here we have our drum position. Our drummer, he sits right here at the drums, as you might have guessed. Our drummer is the only one who's licensed on our team to keep tempo and to trigger tracks. We provided him with this beautiful iPad running the playback app. Back in my day, I had to build all of our worship band track sessions in a software called Ableton Live. And I had to walk to band rehearsal at church 14 miles each way in the snow. You Zoomers these days don't realize how easy you have it with software like this for running tracks and automation and all the other cool things that you can do with this ecosystem. So we have a newer iPad. It's like a $500 iPad. Is this the iPad Air? I don't know, I think so. I just sent our worship leader the link. I said, get this one. This is gonna be much better than the old iPad that we were using. Then we have this cool Anchor iPad stand right here. You can move it around. You can adjust it however you would like. This is the USB connection that plugs into this little Anchor dock. And then at the back here, you have USB-C for power, which will keep the iPad charged. Then we have another USB connection that goes to our audio interface for playback. Speaking of, this is our audio interface right here, the Track Rig by Blackstone. It provides 8 balanced outputs for tracks. We are only using 4 outputs right now because we do not have the available inputs on our stage box. This is how we like to route audio to our interface. The click is on channel 1, the guide is on 2, and then everything else is just stereo 3 and 4. We do have the channel count available on our mixing console if we want to break out our tracks into more stereo channels. We can do that, but I need 4 more preamps available on our stage box in our back rack room, and that'll hopefully be here in a few weeks. But I would recommend for those of you getting started with tracks, I would try to have a setup where you can have at least 4 outputs going from the playback app on an iPad into your interface. I got this little 4-channel subsnake here. I got a little bit of slack if we need to move it around, going into our other subsnake that goes back to the stage box. I had to rearrange some stuff, so I'll probably replace these 2 subsnakes here for drums and tracks with 1 subsnake that's gonna be probably 16 ins and 8 returns, but these guys do the trick for now. The other thing you'll notice here is the headphone amp for our drums in-ear monitor mix. So it's conveniently mounted under the table. This is what it looks like underneath this inexpensive laptop cart that I got on Amazon. I used some industrial strength Velcro to simply Velcro the track rig to this tabletop. I did the same thing with my power supplies. On this side right here, I've got a Trond power strip. I like it because it has the little screw holes. You can get some little 1/2-inch self-tapping screws that are gonna be short enough to not poke through your tabletop surface here, but it's long enough to secure the power strip underneath the table. So then I only have 1 power cable coming down the side, zip tied, and I could do the same for my XLR inputs here, but for now I'm fine just having that subsnake be right there. The other trick is to have a grommet. So I used a spade bit and I drilled a 1-inch hole right here and I stuck a little 1-inch grommet in there. So that allows our cabling to go through the tabletop instead of having to go like around the sides, and it looks more cluttered that way. So that's all for this video. I just wanted to give you this simple rig rundown for our playback setup. I'm gonna include all the details of this track rig setup in the Churchfront toolkit. So go ahead and click that link down below to access the toolkit for free. We actually have a ton of great bundles of production gear for churches that you can learn about there. And I'll make sure to have one here for the track setup because I think this is gonna be a really great, reliable, and clean setup for a lot of churches out there. Thanks so much for watching this video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.